In a dimly lit hotel room, the air was thick with the scent of lavender and faint echoes of the city nightlife outside. Two women, Eva and Lana, sat on the plush, king-sized bed. Both were strikingly beautiful, with sharp features and fiery personalities that contrasted their serene surroundings. Eva, with her dark hair and piercing blue eyes, was leaning against the headboard, scrolling through her phone. Lana, blonde and confident, was sprawled across the bed, her red dress clinging to her curves, staring into space. Suddenly, the room seemed to pulse, the temperature dropping sharply as a low whisper echoed in the air, so soft it was almost imperceptible. At first, neither of them noticed. They'd been chatting about mundane things, laughing, and enjoying the night. But then, without warning, a shiver ran down Eva's spine. "Did you feel that?" Eva asked, looking at Lana with a raised brow. Lana shrugged, unaffected. Maybe the AC kicked on. Before Eva could respond, a cold gust of wind swept across the room, rattling the curtains. Lana's phone buzzed violently on the bedside table. She reached for it, but as her fingers brushed the screen, her eyes glazed over. The change was immediate. Lana's breathing slowed, her posture stiffening unnaturally, and her hands curled into fists by her sides. Eva looked on, confused, as Lana's lips parted in a low, guttural whisper, a voice not her own. "Leave, now." Eva froze, eyes wide in horror. "Lana," she whispered, but there was no response, just the eerie sound of whispered words that came not from Lana's throat but from something deeper. It was then that the room seemed to shrink, the shadows pressing closer. With a sudden jerk, Lana stood up, her head tilting unnaturally to the side as her eyes remained unfocused. Eva's heart raced. "Lana, snap out of it," she screamed, but the possession was swift. In the blink of an eye, it shifted from Lana to Eva. The second the darkness took hold of Lana, it moved like wildfire through the room, brushing against Eva's skin, sinking deep into her chest. Eva gasped as the coldness enveloped her, her body going rigid. A voice that was not her own now slithered from her throat. "You're next." Lana blinked, suddenly aware of herself again, her face pale and drenched in sweat. She staggered back in disbelief as she watched Eva, her face twisting with fear and confusion. She tried to scream, but no sound came from her lips. In mere seconds, Eva's eyes turned black as her lips contorted into a wicked grin. The room spun violently, the air thick with a tension so oppressive it felt like the walls themselves were closing in. As quickly as it had begun, the spirit released its grip. Both women collapsed, gasping for breath, their hearts pounding in their chests. The room was silent once again, the calm too unnerving after what had just happened. For a long moment, they just stared at each other, still in shock. No words were spoken, but the lingering feeling of the dark presence was undeniable.